So 2 months ago, guys, I decided to make a Pokemon poll called "Who has the best design out of these Delta Pokemon Part 1?" And I basically started this idea of something where I looked at every single Delta Pokemon from Pokemon Insurgence. I basically just wanted to see what my community thought was the best designed Delta Pokemon. This was something that even people that are subscribed to my channel that aren't necessarily the most competitive Pokemon players, like anyone could vote in these polls. You could be a casual, you could be a competitive player, even if you didn't play Chaos or if you have played Chaos or So yeah, I thought this was a nice thing for, community engagement, let's call it. I thought this would be a very nice thing for that. So yeah, we had 100 Pokemon, Delta Pokemon, and we've been doing this for the last 2 months, and we finally reached the end. We had 25 polls of these across 2 months, and we finally managed to finish the last one where we see Delta Pidgeot and Delta Reuniclus make it to the playoff rounds. I just wanted to make this video now to give you guys an idea that we are basically starting the actual playoffs now. Instead of 4 Pokemon polls, now we're going to be moving on to 1v1 polls now in this playoff tournament now to actually decide who is the best designed Delta Pokemon, at least according to the Kingdom, my subscriber base. And if you guys are excited to see which of your favorite Delta Pokemon are going to end up winning, let me know down below as well what Delta Pokemon you think are the best, at least out of the ones that have won the polls. If you look at any of these polls, pretty much the top two most votes here are the ones that have made it to the playoff rounds. But yeah, let me show you guys who ended up winning in the end. Alright, so I hope you all are happy because I spent like the last 15 minutes trying to copy paste every single image onto this screen. But anyway, these are the 50 Delta Pokemon that managed to make it into the playoff periods. I'll list all of them and let's see how fast I can do it. So we got Delta Ludicolo, Delta Hoopa Unleashed, Delta Huntail, Delta Frostlass, Delta Octolui, Delta Lucario, Delta Bishop, Delta Ditto, Delta Volcarona, Delta Golurk, Delta Mismagius, Delta Cofagrigus, Delta Aggron, Delta Aurorus, Delta Metagross Ruin Form, Delta Sizzle, Delta Gudra, Delta Gallade, Delta Meloetta, Delta Arcanine, Delta Ambipom, Delta Weezing, Delta Yanmega, Delta Mutt, Delta Metagross Spider Form, Delta Glady, Delta Haxorus, Delta Camerupt, Delta Tangrowth, Delta Noctowl, Delta Registeel, Delta Lilligant Water, Delta Wailord, Delta Darmanitan, Delta Trevenant, Delta Milotic, Delta Torterra, Delta Roserade, Delta Regite, Delta Maractus, Delta Torterra Crystal, Delta Regirock, Delta Golem, Delta Girafarig, Delta Chandelure, Delta Hydreigon, Delta Charizard, Delta Scolipede, Delta Pidgeot, and Delta Reuniclus. Now, hopefully I did that as fast as I could. But anyway, so some interesting trends to see here. Like, most of these are what I expected would make into playoffs. Some sleeper picks that I wasn't expecting to even make it here were Delta Ludicolo 100%. I was like, do people actually like this guy? But fair enough. Some picks of my personal favorites, of course, things like Delta Charizard, Delta Trevenant. I was expecting these guys to make, and even Delta Gudra. Like, I looked at Delta Gudra when I was doing it, like, part of the poll, and I was like, yeah, Delta Gudra should just win. It should clear the rest of his opposition. And also something to take note into account as well, all the Regi forms managed to make it in, which obviously is a massive improvement on their original designs anyway. So I know a lot of people that have played Insurgents, or even people that have never seen them before, would think they look pretty cool. And shout out to Delta Torterra Crystal, the only POA mon, the only non-Insurgents Delta Pokemon that actually made it here, which just goes to show how good its design is. Shout out to Toxie for making that. But yeah, it'll be tough to call who actually ends up being the best, the highest voted Delta Pokemon design. I can't really call it. It's too early to call it. There's too little Pokemon, but I wouldn't bet money on this personally. I would not bet money, but I could tell you that Delta Volcarona will make it very far. Delta Trevenant will make it very far. Even something like Charizard and Ambipom will make it very far. That's what I can say without a shadow of a doubt, and even some of the Regis as well. But yeah, only time will tell. So hopefully you guys are sticking along for the ride to see who ends up winning this tournament. But yeah, thanks for watching, and by the time this video comes out, the first match of round 1 of the playoffs should be posted on my channel as well. So keep a lookout for this video and for the poll as well. And I'll thank everyone for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one. Peace.